Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to the room 3. Let's continue. So, we got 3 of the 5 collectible pieces, little triangles. And we have this little cube that we found before in this area. But I don't think that we're going to find anything else in this world, in this little library at the current moment, so I think there are just some extra secrets, as it were, because like this here, that doesn't seem to be working yet. This here doesn't seem to have any way to operate it. So either they've just added a bunch of extra things that don't matter yet for this, which I think is the case, or I just missed a bunch in this section. And we just did the clock area, so there would be an interesting argument to go back this direction and see what, if anything, might have happened to the clock. Otherwise, I don't think there was anything else that happened here. Yeah, the clock has once again moved, so time does seem like it's moving, and there's a bunch of things knocked over, but with the exception of the fire, unless you're supposed to throw a box in the fire, we probably won't have all the secret extra key pieces until we've done the main story elements, which is placing these on these. Then it's going to animate it, so it's going to lock me into a specific perspective. That way they don't have to make sure every single angle looks good. Instead, they can just make sure that the default angle looks good. And that's going to give us an optical device, which we already have an optical device, so yet another optical device is not ideally what you want. Does seem to probably plug into something, though. Okay. We've already read this note. So then the next part would be, how can we open this area over here? I don't think there's anything special to see with the lens, so I guess we probably are over here. Yeah, we haven't looked at this in full detail, but I think there probably is a case here that this is something must fit here to make the device work. Yeah, it's this. And then we're trying to make a laser, which means we've got to interfere with this some way. Well, are we just trying to get to the middle? Because I think I just got to the middle that way, but it didn't count. I feel like the game is gonna be a bit more of a pain in the butt than that. Yeah. They're gonna make me bounce this around multiple things. But it kind of feels like that has to be the solution. Yeah. It really didn't feel like there was a lot of other options there. And frankly, a lot of these puzzles are very straightforward, and I can't say I hate that. Like, if anything, I would say if this was a point and click adventure, I'd want fewer puzzles that were more challenging, but since this is just a puzzle game at its core, just give me enough to take a reasonable amount of time, and it seems like we are on the path towards a 5-hour experience, which, assuming that this was somewhere around a $5 game, that seems very reasonable and like good enough for a cell phone game and a puzzle game. Like, this game could get very annoying if it ended up taking 10 or 20 hours. Another test passed with flying colors, and now the time truly is at hand. I promise you answers, and answers you shall have. Every soul is unique, and so must be every trap that snares it. An altar of belief, a tome of answers, a crypt of terrors. For AS, his box full of demons, knowledge, power, sight beyond sight, all lies, all just bait in the trap. So everything we've known from the room 1 and 2, apparently not true. This house was to be yours had you failed, but you walked free of it, as you have all the rest. I am certain now that you are the one I have sought, the one who will be able to find the center of the labyrinth, the one who will walk free of this very realm, and this is the Craftsman. Once again. So the Craftsman, I think, feels like a nicer guy than I feel like AS ever was. It doesn't seem like you can get the bricks out. Well, no, it just took me a little bit more dragging of the mouse than would be required. And I would be surprised if, frankly, a lot of these puzzles are more built around the idea of swiping on a touch screen than, since that's what these originally were cell phone games. So there is some lost in translation ideas. Yeah. Well, this seems fairly obvious. Am I supposed to be going over there? Apparently not. Am I supposed to be rotating something more? I mean, there's a decidedly red hue to the way that's depicted. And decidedly red hue to that. So what are we looking for? Something very bright? Something fairly dim? Because I can only really see so far. Yeah, it totally feels like this should be the right move. Because we are here. We don't see anything elsewise. Yeah, I think this probably is the solution. We need to actually, I think, walk over and then walk on to the other side of this. And then just turn around. Even though it automatically moved us quite far. And then look here. Yeah, that was seemingly what needed to happen. At least that's what I'm going to assume. We have some tree technology. And we have a device here that looks like it needs 2 crystals. And this all kind of just iterates on, you find this first, and then you work from there. So this, we've got 2 that go the same direction, so this same distance, and then we have 1 that wouldn't work because it has to go minus, plus, minus, plus. So this goes to a plus and a minus, which goes here, which means that won't work, but this would, which means that would work. And again, just random inputs and brute forcing is really all you need. I like that these wires light up a little bit. And once again, it looks like we are going to light up a building that we'll teleport to. Last time it was a clock tower. Time before that it was a lighthouse. Feels like we're probably going to something like a garden, if I was to guess this time. Here we have, let's see, the dial's latched, locking in the dial in place. I also need a coin. And clearly we need another record. So August 7th, my fate rests in a terrible paradox. I have need to trap a soul of great brilliance, but for them to exhibit the brilliance I seek, they must surely also see the trap. The outcome is balanced on a razor's edge. The yearn for the source of the null, just as I have. They yearn for the source of the null, just as I have. I can feel their longing and must blind them to their fate. Which, yeah, that probably is what's happening to me in the current moment. Alright. There needs to be some way to unlock this. And I don't think I have the way to unlock it. Can't just move the needle. Alright, so we've got 2 things here that seem to be inaccessible. And do we have anything else of importance to look at? I don't think so. Then we have something different, which it's some inactive display. More and more it does feel like we are pretty much just running into elements that don't really integrate. So I found the box, and there is an extra puzzle here. Let's rotate. We want it. Oh, we can change it. Alright, well. How do we stick it back in? Because that's not the shape I want. We have a new metal object. Interesting. That's what we want. So we want a ball. Okay. And the screen still doesn't seem to be showing us anything. Alright, so back here. And back through here. And back through here. Yeah. We are going to run into an issue, certainly, of this having a lot of transition. A lot of transitions. As we wander around solving side puzzles. But we should solve whatever we can find at the moment, because any delay opens the door and the possibility of forgetting what's being shown or where things are, because there are several secret things we know of. And so here is the cylinder player, wax cylinder. It's blank. And apparently the button plays it. One assumes. It doesn't record on it. I'm not sure wax cylinder players ever had the capability to record. Like, frankly, I don't know if they were strong enough to do that. And frankly, I'm not sure that any wax cylinder you could find these days actually has any chance of being playable. I wouldn't be surprised if all the wax is just straight up deteriorated. Alright. Yeah, unless there was some other device, I would not be able to tell for a second what a wax cylinder recorder would even look like. 1795 would be the answer. But it doesn't seem like you're supposed to put the wax cylinder there. So that very possibly was as far as we can go at the moment. And then it becomes a question about which way did we come from? We came from over here. The symbol on the floor for this area does strike me as being from the symbol from the previous games. Then you still have a lot of things like this where, unless there's some secret code, it does kind of seem like you just do the same thing over and over again. And they're more just toys to play with compared to so didn't want to read that again. Wanted to see if so it seems like you just have to keep it in line long enough to line it up. We should be off to the next area, and we'll probably lose the wax cylinder just to keep things nice and neat in the inventory. Where is this a water wheel station or something. Let's see. Let me drink some water and read this at the same time. How can we do that? That'd be magic. Here you arrive at the birthplace of my enterprise and your final lesson. Here's where I began crafting my masterworks and where you shall learn to do likewise. That which you seek is contained in the box on the table here. Accessing it will require the mastery of many tools. The first of the keys you will have to make yourself, but the final one is held ready for you. The Craftsman. Which, in all fairness, I think we kind of do want a Craftsman-like character to explain, like, who was making these puzzles. Otherwise, the game's just going to be left in questionableness. Talisman Co. and Company Limited. I feel like Talisman as a company name is something we've seen before in previous games, although it's pretty impossible to remember. I also feel like you have a situation here where you get a hint every time you use the Oculus. So even a quick test, it pops up that question mark. That could just be a coincidence, but maybe not. Here we've got another key. Seems like we're gonna need a bunch of keys, and it seems like there's very possibly a monster down in that area. Okay. I found a key. So up or down, take your pick. Feel like there are some keyholes down here. So let's try the key in that keyhole. We had a key that reformed itself in one of these games. We had to orient and re-roll a key multiple times. This one seems like you've got a timer mechanism, so you have only a few seconds. And this up here needs more key. So yeah, I think they are going to do the same concept that we've seen in the previous game, where we have a key that it grows and grows and grows. So I need something here that would rotate the gear, and I'd need to be able to move the gear or put another gear, and I feel like this bag in that controller probably is the thing there. We have a strange looking metal tile, and on the strange looking metal tile we have a symbol, and on this tile we have another symbol, and over here we've got a door that seems to be connected to lots of things. Yeah, it seems like we're gonna have to forge a specific key, which means we're gonna have to pour some metal Interesting. So we've got a whole temperature, a fire that we're gonna have to start, and bellows that we're gonna have to pump. Okay. We have symbols in the arm, and seems like that's all we have there. We should try this key in this lock. Now we have a metal rod. It'd be really silly if we got more than just like a jump scare, though. We now have what looks like a water diverter. So no monster, just blood. At least no monster under the floorboards. So that was a lot of setup. Can we move any of this stuff? Yeah, I don't think we get anywhere with that anytime soon. We have a metal rod, and we have some kindling. And the symbol here is 3 across, then a circle, then an X, double X. So let's go over and adjust that to that. So 2 across, 3 across, not like that though. Must be that, and it must be that. And I can put kindling here. That doesn't seem like that's the right place. Although I kind of don't know where else I could put it. So we've got to get fire somewhere. Unless we're supposed to stick kindling here. Which I guess maybe we are. Maybe that creates the spark. Can I open this? Nope. Let's try this on this. Like, it feels like there should be some flint. Yeah, it feels like we need to find some flint somewhere. And where could it be? Like, you have this kind of burn point. Then you have like candles where you could get flame. There's a candle down here on the ground. You can't do anything with. Let's ask a question. Closer look on the iron box on the table. Okay. Down here we've got something. Okay. There's a secret panel down here. I've recently started watching a YouTuber that seems to pay like thousands of dollars for puzzle boxes that are like this, and it is kind of shocking, to say the least. So I would say I like this idea, but yeah, this is really an example of something that could only realistically happen in virtual reality, not in real reality, because making puzzles like boxes like this is really, really hard and really expensive. Okay, probably want something like that, but then you can't do anything from that. So you kind of have to do that, and then kind of have to do that, and what do you do now? Like that gets back to that. That doesn't go back that way. That doesn't go that way. That doesn't jump 4. These don't seem to lock. You jump here. You jump here. Yeah, that kind of just ends your... It's either this or this. This and this don't work. So you do that. Then this can move 1, but then it can't move 3. So then that doesn't work. So it has to be this, and then it has to be this, and then at this point you either do this, or I mean, you can't do anything. You have to do that. Nothing moves backwards. What a hint actually here. A row of buttons appeared along the base of the iron block, and there's like 5 hints in this puzzle. And there's no adjusting or moving these. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, just in case holding down the button might do something different. Pushing a button moves it, so I must need to get them to different positions. The large central button resets things, I guess is what that said. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now, at this point, if I put this one here, I can move this one forward, but I can't do anything. I need these two to swap places. So you kind of need this. You kind of need this. But then you kind of need this to go back 1. Or this to jump forward 4. Need to find a way to get all the red buttons to the right. Red, this is purple. This is clearly a purple color. Okay, let's see. This. And then this. And then maybe this. And then this. Maybe that's the part that needed to happen. And that way I can do this, then this, then this. Wow, that was a lot simpler than I made that. And what is this? Now I have a metal casting. Are there any other bits that we maybe missed looking at this? Because yeah, we have this like metal casting which goes here, which then lets me turn on the power to something. Not sure exactly what, because this still doesn't strike me as movable, but we'll try something over here just for giggles. There's a panel here, but I can't do anything with it. I can't do anything else without another handle. Let's... like we tried this, right? Yeah, you can try and spin this, and again, this might be getting lost in translation because it's a cell phone game and using a mouse doesn't quite work. But I kind of don't think that's the issue. Or at least not the core issue. Let's see what the next hint is. There's a plinth near the wooden pillar. Looks like some kind of control panel. That would be that. Yeah. But the control panel didn't do anything. Yeah. Apparently I need to get it to go all the way over there. The cross-shaped slot in the control panel appears to be missing something. Oh. You know what? That's a scale issue. I at no point thought that this was supposed to go there. Okay. So whatever is powered in that area. So I'm not supposed to take it from that area. I guess I'm probably supposed to get it over the fire and then decide whether I want to lower this onto one platform or the other. Ah. Well, that was a little more complicated than I think it should have been. Alright, but I now know where to go. Although I'm trying to right click, and in the act of right clicking I'm failing to get back to the plinth, because that's not the default location in this room where you would zoom out to. This isn't a great point to show where it would have been better just to have immediately activated the fast travel to that location. Or not fast travel, but just the animated travel to that location, instead of making me double click on it. Alright. Let's go ahead and unlock this and open that. That at some point might benefit us. So we have what looks like a saw blade, which I think does indicate something that we're gonna saw into the bag. Over here we have some like lathe. It's making chess pieces, and we'll have to figure out if there's a chessboard somewhere. We have mechanics here that I'm assuming we're not doing too much with. It feels like there's something here. Okay. Back we go. Up that goes. I don't think this could have gone any further in the other direction anyways. I kind of find it funny that the machine knew that the door was locked. I'm just waiting until the audio stops playing. Alright. Here we go. Sandbag destroyed. Saw broken. Now we have a metal bar. And apparently in the act of taking that metal bar, we started the saw back up. That seems fairly dangerous. Okay. It's good and all, but I don't know how that brings us back to a piece. See, if I was supposed to say put a chess piece here, then I do need the other chess piece. Alright. And I imagine I'm not supposed to just stick the metal bar here. So yeah, we're not, I think, ready to do anything new there. Okay. So metal bar goes somewhere. It either goes into this part or on top. See, it feels like the metal is just gonna fall out the top of that when it's melted, but we've still got that cold forge as a problem. I just don't see a solution to that at all. We've got a puzzle thing here. Is there? I feel like I'm supposed to do something with this hand, but I feel like there's a missing component here. Like, if we look back there, it feels like that would connect in some weird way. Like, you can go all the way back here. You can go here. You can go here. The spinning of the dial seems to do nothing. So back to hint. Should take a look closer at the metal box. I think I might have missed something on its front. Right, well, I did miss something. Oh, a flint, the exact thing I needed. This is really one of those games, though, that like you just don't want to get into a 20-minute experience where you're potentially wasting just a ton of time looking for something that you just happen to overlook. And there is a slight different experience, I feel, when you're playing something like Myst versus something like this, where Myst, there's a lot of things you could look at and lose your lose yourself in, whereas here it really is just going to be frustration. You just had to pump that multiple times and then it automatically did its thing. Which I'm happy for that. Like that would have been irritating if they'd thrown some extra difficulty into it and you had to pump it like 4 times, then wait 5 seconds, and then pump it 4 more times. Okay. Seems like we've got a switch. But what are we doing with the switch? I guess we move it over here, and then we have a small connector that is open, and then I guess we come over here and then zoom out, and the other side is open, which I guess it's interesting. Hollowed out metal block. Let's go ahead and get some double appearance here. And okay. So what do we need now? Snake, triangle, 2, circle. And now that we have a hollowed out metal block, I think we can make that. we can turn around. So we put that there. Snake, triangle, 2, circle. And the circle doesn't move. And I imagine we're just going to melt the key again and use the bellows again. One assumes we had enough metal material for that to work. I kind of like this puzzle more than I did the previous one, where you had to zoom in on the key in the room too and rotate the orientation of the key. Well, I thought that was a good idea the first or second time you did it. It got annoying by the fourth or fifth time. Oh man, I think I may have boned this up a little bit. Yeah, I think I made the wrong key first. Yeah. I can't open this one. Until... I don't think I can open this one until more things have happened. So what's the hint? Actually, we're a little... It would be a little premature to look for the hint. Let's see if we can figure out if there's a connector somewhere that needs to be used. This connector. Is there possibly a connector that goes here? That makes sense. I don't think so. Is there a connector over at this door? Is there like a connector over here? Is there anything over? You know what, the connector is probably something as far as related to this. But where? Is it supposed to go over here? Bell shapes looks like they should be connected to something. Well, here's a connector. Let's adjust. And then double check over here. Small metal connector. And over here we do have like a key piece. And it's locked into a vise, so you can't get it free. Alright, let's use a hint now. There's a large dial on the side of the iron box. I wonder what it does. Large dial. Seems like we're probably going to have to do UU2 circle first. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, this connector goes here. Then when you spin the dial, like, well, didn't quite get far enough. Then that opens the whole thing. Nice. So it really isn't a timing puzzle so much. Now we have a mechanical disc. And now we have more puzzles. Not sure we're going to be able to do this chapter in a reasonable amount of time. Okay, well, do this, 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 and this, that, that, and that. And that solves that part of the puzzle. Now we have a metal casing. So we have a metal dial, which we should look at, which turned into a metal gear. Nice. You can't unspin it. Then we have a metal casing, which is just the next power part here. So we can get rid of that part. I still don't think we can do anything more with the box. It does kind of seem like once you've activated the power thing, you should go check out that power thing. That seems fairly logical. So this is allegedly moving this band, which is not logically straight at all, over powering this device, which we'll see where we can throw gear on this, if anywhere, just down at the bottom. And that's going to move that metal piece in that direction. Allowing me to pick up the obvious band, or belt, whatever you want to call it. And then allowing me to use the obvious belt. Where'd it go? Oh. It's just hard to see in that background. They should have worked on that a little bit better. And that's gonna unlock the lathe so we can get the other chest piece. I think that's probably all we're gonna do with the lathe. And the fact that you're in 2 rooms now does mean you can't just exit out to the main room. Right. Second chest piece goes in. New puzzle. It is a water wheel that seemingly, obviously, we can slide. Then that can slide too. What are we trying to accomplish here? You would think that you could get more angles on this, but it doesn't seem like it wants to work. is there something in the water? I think there is something here. And you have to get it to slide in. That's what you have to do first. And then that. And that rotates that. And that gives you a little button. And then that gives you a little slide thing. Just little toys to play with. And the whole box seems like it is unlocking now a kind of laser puzzle. It doesn't seem like much changes, though. There's a symbol, squares, and more regions. So what's it trying to do? What's the trick here? Okay, the trick is we need to get those pieces in the right places, which means we need to rotate a decent amount of these. And so what we'll do is we'll just rotate this once. Well, that was easier than I thought it was going to be. But I guess there really was only two options. And we click on the button again. There's certainly a flippancy to this that I can't say I particularly love, in the fact that you really quickly do just seem to solve a puzzle and then you're done with that puzzle and you're never going to deal with it again. Let's see. U2 and circle. Put the key in, melt it with the bellows. It feels like they could have designed this puzzle a little bit differently so you could only get the UU2 puzzle next. They simply could have not given you the circle part until after the second key was made. That would have probably made more sense. But whatever. And this is just getting like deeper and deeper. Okay. Well, I see a gem. We'll put the gem in. And then let's see. Yeah, we're gonna need more rotation. One. It's probably not right. Two. Decent chance that's right. Right. And they're showing us that the red gem is getting unlocked. Seems like the gold is probably on the underside, so doing that seems like it's necessary. Yep, and they made that fairly easy. Why it just gave me a hint as I'm solving the puzzle is questionable, but whatever. So we now have the red gem, and this is a solid box that can't be rotated anymore. Although, questionable. What did I need the red gem for? To open this, I guess? And then S up to circle. Have we pretty much done everything in this area? No, because we still have the hand. We still have a whole nother area. There's still like work to be done. Put that in. Once again, hopefully for the final time. I like that these puzzles are iterating and that you're getting something different in each of the areas. I would say some of the puzzles that are the more generic puzzles are getting reused a little too often. That would be really my only major complaint so far. And maybe I could complain a little bit about there not really being any music, but also in fairness that means there isn't any annoying music, and voice acting, lack of voice acting is I think a reasonable complaint. And the graphics probably could be a little bit better. So into the all-seeing eye we go. At first glance I have absolutely no clue what I'm supposed to be doing. But I guess what I'm supposed to be doing is moving the red pieces to that bottom part. Which, it seems like that's somewhat doable. Yeah, that's not too hard because there actually is only 3 positions here. Creepy eyes, all-seeing eye, or eyeball in general. Maybe. I see something that looks like something I can't mess with, something that looks like something I can't mess with, something that looks like something I can't mess with. And yeah, we still need some pieces. And for this chapter we're going longer. Yeah, I still imagine this is only a few more steps away from being done, even though we are going into another whole room. Like, what you would want to do, like behind this door, is subvert expectations and have it actually just be like a closet. Well, at least that'd be funny if they did that. You don't have to do it that way. But yeah, it's pretty much all it is a Rumpelstiltskin spinning straw into gold. We have a piece of wood. We have what looks like a printing press. Let's see. Handle broke off. Well, anything else worth looking at in this room? Nope. So I think the idea and the theme here is to take a piece of wood, chop it to length, and then put it in the lathe. And now we have a small piece of wood. Apparently the other side broke. So then you take that piece of wood and you stick it in the lathe. And you let the lathe turn it into a handle. Although, in all honesty, even if this was an automatic replicating lathe, you still need a drill press, because you need to drill the inside of it out, wouldn't you? And I haven't seen a drill. Usually a handle is used around a piece of metal or some kind of rod. It's not just jammed into the side of something, but I guess in this case it is just jammed. Alright, well. And now we have a magical printed thing. Let's see. We're gonna have to go look at the symbol. The idea that you could have basically a printed painting or a printed piece of paper that is a portal to another dimension is pretty out there. Triangle, square with a hash with a slash through it, and then VL. I don't hate the idea by any means, though. It is different. And you do have a danger certainly here of this turning into something that is just 100% a ripoff of something like Myst, where, man, that is hard to see. That is like, you gotta get that angle just perfect to be able to see it right. There we go. And so now there's this metal camshaft that's on the printout. Yeah. I'm definitely trying to think though how you would make a game like this and just have it have that kind of lasting experience. Like Myst, as it isn't like the first group. It's not the first game, it's not the second game, it's not the third game. Like that. Just gonna see if I can tickle fingers until it opens. Yeah, I don't know if I honestly solved that as a puzzle or if you just had to try a couple different things. Honestly, I think I kind of am at the point though where I would be fine for somebody to just straight up rip off Myst and have linking books and have different ages, whatever you want to make an age, whether it's a different time or a different world or an alternate dimension of a different world, however you want that to play out. I would be fairly happy with that. Here we have a reconfiguring key. Alright, let's see if that works. Wasn't really paying attention that it needed to be reconfigured, but whatever. It didn't need to be reconfigured at all for that part. But yeah, I think I would be perfectly fine with somebody just stealing the idea. It's not like the creators of Myst are probably capable of going back and making any more Myst games. Not reasonably. Like, they need to move forward and not backwards. And there is the open source Myst Online that actually did just add some new ages, and my jaw was on the floor when I heard that. But yeah, I'm also not going to play Myst Online, which is like the open source version of Uru, which is a game that is like 10 years old and never succeeded in the first place, and is more of an MMO. Praise is due. You mastered the sinister machinery of the forge with aplomb. Let the splinters in your fingertips be a reminder of how far you've come. And so, yeah, there's almost certainly one more chapter after this, and then probably some extra stuff in the main area. Probably another chapter after that also. But we've been going an hour and 16 minutes, so there's no reason to delay the ending. That's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and get me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.